Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Okay, I'm going to touch on a trio of issues today that the Twitch viewers of mine suggested I look into. I appreciate the feedback. It means one less decision I have to make about what kind of content I'm going to do because I'm really tired right now. I'm in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign. Boss fight is still going on. We have hit our first stretch goal. Yay. There will be a video up to celebrate either later today or tomorrow. There are 17 days to go. So we are not even at the halfway point and we have already hit our first stretch goal. That's awesome. So if you have not yet, support Boss Fight like a good bra. If you have already become a backer, share the links. You can still promote. There are more things that are going to be added very soon. Definitely to that $125 tier. But once we hit the second 2 weeks, there will be sort of a premium item for the back half to see sort of what we can kind of shake the trees kind of thing. But this is obviously a business. Crowdfunding, whatever. Gaming is a business. Much like movies or television, it's a business. And money making is at the core of a great number of business decisions. Now, gaming has gotten into some trouble of late with certain business decisions. And the three things that the Twitch participants wanted me to talk about was one, the comments comparing vice president, I think from EA, compared loot boxes to Kinder eggs, kind of, in front of a parliamentary committee in the UK. NBA2K19 having an excessive, in some people's opinion, number of unskippable ads in a fully priced game. And then the comments that Xbox head Phil Spector made about Xbox not being a free speech platform. And I realize there's a common thread between these. And I actually watched the parliamentary testimony with that EA the EA vice president. She was I'm sorry. She wasn't. Oh, yeah. Vice President Legal and Government Affairs, Carrie Hopkins. I watched her comments. She did not directly compare loot boxes to a Kinder Egg. She said that if you go to toy stores, there are lots of surprise items. People like surprises. She's talking about gotcha type GATCHA. Gotcha. Type items where you get it in kind of a mystery crate and you open it up, like collectible cards back in the game, baseball cards. You had oodles back in the day, little naked plastic babies, which are really weird in retrospect. But there's always been some sort of stickers or Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering or something like that where you're not sure what you're going to get when you buy the pack. And then this creates, in the real world, a significant resale market. And in the online form, governments are concerned that this amounts to gambling and are potentially trying to regulate it or get rid of it entirely. And it's kind of, the comparison was kind of interesting to me because I'm like, yeah, there's always been sort of that collectible card element of toys. But when you're buying baseball cards, you're buying baseball cards. And yes, there are some rare cards, there are some less rare cards. But you can only spend so much on baseball cards. With loot boxes, it's a little bit different. It's a gray area. She's not wrong with her comparison. But the range of the value of the items you get in a loot box in a game like they specifically referenced FIFA, the range of that is so much greater than, a rare baseball card or, a Magic card or something like that. No matter what you're getting a Magic card, you're not getting, a really rare item sometimes that is super valuable and, and I guess you could say about Magic cards, no, you do, but you know what I mean. The discrepancy between the common items and the legendary weapons, or whatever you want to call them, in video games is significantly greater than baseball cards or Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever. And with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, the thinking is you actually have to go into the store and buy the cards, whereas when you're playing a game, it's like this impulse buy, right? And this, of course, all got started because people had a big kerfuffle over Star Wars. And Fortnite, the guy from Fortnite at this same committee was very happy to say, we don't have loot boxes in our game. You just buy cosmetic items. And nobody really has an issue with buying cosmetic items, I believe. I don't know quite how I think. Loot boxes are annoying, and I think that may be biasing my opinion on this point. But I find another element of this very curious, and that is when there was a big kerfuffle about violence in when there's a big kerfuffle about violence in the 90s, video game companies scrambled to sort of cover their butts. The whole thing with sex, like boobies in games right now. Video games are just pulling way back. They just don't want the trouble. Their you shall not pass moment, their Gandalf moment is gambling, is loot boxes. All of a sudden, they care about science. All of a sudden, they're ready to defend this. They're ready to go to the mat. They're ready to fight to the death to defend loot boxes. Why? It makes them a lot of money. And that's, I think, sort of a tangible detail that people don't have the words for, that, they'll cave on sexy costumes. They caved for a while on violence until the science was so secure. And even now, people are still saying, oh, it kind of might. We're making games that are better because our games aren't as violent. They're using it as a marketing tactic, right? And then you got, the whole hate speech angle where Phil Spencer's going on, Xbox is not a free speech platform. Like, oh, they're leaning right into the censorship there. But don't you dare come after our loot boxes. That's the part of this I find curious. That's the part of this, it's not just my opinion. It's not, you're not getting into sort of an ethical question of, is it baseball cards or is it gambling? The discrepancy in response is what has me going, I see you. Video game companies. And I think added with the, NBA2K19 stuff with these ads in a fully priced game. Like, my God, you guys don't make enough money off the games. You have to put ads in them too. And this isn't like, a game like the Witcher that has a massive amount of extended content, and I absolutely do not know how they make that game. Purchasing power in Poland must be huge and salaries must be, lower than, North America. But, that I can see them needing to stretch a buck. But these sports games sell incredibly well. They're the same every year with advanced tech, and that tech, if a company was doing it properly, it's like, no, you develop your tech through your sports games, then you can have better graphics and all this stuff across the board in the rest of your games in a company. You should be sharing your resources the way a company like Ubisoft does. But I guess not. I guess EA shares Frostbite, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. But, they'll cave on free speech. They'll cave on depictions of sexuality. They'll cave on violent depictions. But gambling, they will go to the mat for. That's very cynical. That's very, very cynical. And that's the issue I have with it, even though I'm not sure I've made up my mind if loot boxes are gambling or not. I just know they're friggin' annoying. I don't want to have to do these stupid boxes that like gamble and stuff that I just call the gamble that like, cycle through and it's random and it's like a freaking slot machine, No, I don't want that. I hate that. I'm a gamer. I want to earn my items. And if you want to offer me some cosmetic stuff where I can customize my character, get a t-shirt or something, I'm not going to use them. But other people are welcome to it. Like if they're really big on Fortnite and they want that item because, they want their character to be theirs. That is their idea of immersion. That is their idea of fun. No problem. They know what they're getting, right? Product for service. Simple. Loot boxes aren't that. Loot boxes are freaking annoying. And they make a ton of money because people want that item. So they go and they go and they go. It's like item drops in any game. Like a friend of mine spent, God know how many months getting Cade Sparrow in Destiny. And after she got it, it was like, well, I'm not sure it's worth the work. I got it. I'm happy. I love Cade. But wow, that was a lot. And so I don't want my sheer annoyance at loot boxes to kind of color my sense of, and in-app transactions and all that stuff. Now, the truth is that the price of video games is going up and up and up. And the cost that a AAA game can charge has stagnated. There's a price tolerance. People will only pay so much for a video game. So they have to come up with, other ways. But, League of Legends and Fortnite have done very well on cosmetic items. Why the heck would a company do anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are popular things. Nobody has a problem with an open transaction that is a purely cosmetic item, and people buy them by the boatload in those games. So why not just adopt that? Because when you look at how much money people spend on loot boxes to get an item versus how much money they spend on a pay-per-use cosmetic item in Fortnite or League of Legends, it's a lot more per item. And this idea that people find loot boxes fun, people find surprise fun. I suppose that's true of some people. I don't like it. If somebody buys me a surprise gift, fine. I hate surprise parties. I hate surprises. I'm an INTJ. I want to see the future. You know what I mean? Not everybody likes surprises. And it really depends on how invasive your loot box, how in your face, your loot box structure is. So let's pivot over to this. Xbox is not a free speech platform in light of this. I read the blog that led to the comments to Kotaku. That was a craven business move. That was not an ideological thing. That was what I read. Xbox has realized that it now has a problem with the brand it created. Its pivot, it's torquing the marketplace to that sort of frat boy trash talk in your face, very, what some people call toxic masculinity culture. It's backfiring on them. And now they're Mr. Safety, Defenders of Joy. Defenders of Joy, I'm sorry, sounds like a cult in a video game. It doesn't sound like a good thing. And if you're calling your community moderators Defenders of Joy, wow, I want to start singing those, Welcome to the Bliss songs from Far Cry 5. I firmly believe that gaming is for everyone. I fully believe that communities can be welcoming. What I have found is a whole ton of rules does the opposite, because there's a subset of gamers that likes to test limits. Communities self-police. I have fairly decently sized communities on social media now, and we have really found an element of mutual respect for each other, and people help other people sort of conform to the culture. So we don't need a lot of rules. I have auto mod turned on Twitch just in case, but I tend to just manually approve a lot of the comments, and it's kind of funny to see but I see it, right? once an auto mod flags a few things, people start typing things into Twitch chat to see if it's going to get flagged. So these heavy-handed moderation tools are actually encouraging people to bait the system. Now, they're not risking a ban by doing that. And I do think that companies have the right to, if, potty mouth or hate speech is putting too many people off, it's a valid business decision to say, okay, we got to crack down on this. This is everybody's space. This is a public street. Behave appropriately, saying it's not a free speech platform, I think, is a bad business move because Xbox has a very clearly defined brand. They're now going against that brand and trying to grab another. They are pulling a new Coke. If you don't know what the whole new Coke thing is, look it up. But this is subtractive PR theory. Anybody who knows about additive theory, subtractive theory, and light. Basically what it is put a blue gel, those see-through things that you'll hold up to lights to make them different colors. Put a blue gel in front of a red light. You lose all your light. You've eliminated all the light spectrum, all the white light elements out, because blue and red, it filters everything out. So all you basically get is this dingy kind of dark purple bordering on black effect. This is what Xbox is doing to their brand with this. This is not a free speech platform. They're doing a complete 180 here. And I mean, yes, Sony has been censoring games too, but Sony isn't coming out and saying this is not a free speech platform. You don't take any artistic medium and come out as anti-free speech. That's just very bad. But especially Xbox with their shooter prominent trash talk dude bro culture. Why are they committing seppuku? Okay? I don't understand this. Of all the companies, this was not the right move. They are clearly panicking. They are clearly concerned about their next gen positioning. And I can't see any, 23-year-old young woman buying an Xbox. The culture has just not shifted enough. That cultural change has to come through their games. The reason Sony can say, no, we're going to crack down on things that survive, and they have such a diverse catalog of games, they can lose that kind of fan service crowd and still do very, very well. Xbox is not similarly positioned. Now, Nintendo's absolutely kicking ass, but Nintendo had a completely different attitude towards community in the first place. Their multiplayer was always really restricted because they knew there were a lot of kids on their platform and they had to be extremely careful. They are loosening up their brand. They are not restricting their brand. It's somewhat easier to do that, though not without risk. I've said before that I think that Nintendo is doing this because they realize they're a nostalgia platform now, not a kiddie platform. Kids are playing, Minecraft or Fortnite or casual games on their mom's iPhone. I know this because I watch young kids play casual games on their mom's iPhone all the time. And I'm like, we have to get you into the good stuff. But that's just me being a biased asshole gamer. But yeah, I think this is a real branding problem on Xbox's part. I think it's going to backfire because, again, if you've got a player base of only red light and you slap a blue gel on it, you lose all your light. You have no bandwidth anymore. You've just eliminated everybody who could possibly be interested in your product. So this is why you have to play to your strengths and play up your strengths, as well as just protecting your weak flank. It's like the two versions of beauty. Like, men look for reasons to include women. Women are constantly focusing on our worst features. Oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God, I hate that. Whereas a guy is like, she has really nice cankles. I'd hit that. It's an opt-in system versus opt-out. And, Grand Theft Auto is a shining example of this. They stick to their strengths. They talk up what's really awesome about the game, what's really fun. They don't care about the criticism at all. And so that criticism actually benefits them from a sales point of view. You have to, I stand up straight now. I didn't used to. You like my Beelzebub shirt? This is the Lady Bits backer shirt. Do you like it? It's a good shirt. There's Beelzebub on it. I'm trying to figure out another, maybe a literally the devil shirt or something like that. But then my husband pointed out that, will a guy wear a shirt with a female devil on it? I think yes, but let me know. But, I'm not afraid to model a t-shirt because I know elements about me are good. And so I don't just conceal the kind of Scottish tree trunk legs. But now thick is in, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. The 90s sucked for that. But now thick, right? Show it. Use it, Can't really do a lot on my right knee. That's kind of a flaw. Gotta watch that, but I'm going to play to my strengths. That's what Xbox should be doing. What are Xbox's strengths? Right. Xbox's strengths are a little dated. And that's what the problem Xbox is facing right now. I would handle this completely differently. I would be tilting IPs into much more, first of all, developing new IP. Second of all, bringing your existing ones into a space where a lot more people are interested in what you're doing. And that doesn't mean just put a girl character in a knit hat in your game and go, look, inclusion. It takes more than that. But anyway, I'll wrap up now. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, Boss Fight is still going on. Support Boss Fight like a good bra. Thanks for watching. Feedback Friday is coming up. Patreons get the video tomorrow. People started becoming patrons, and they're upping their Patreon pledges, even though Boss Fight is going on. Thank you for that. That was completely unexpected. If you want to throw money at me, I won't say no, but it's like people who tip on Twitch every time I hold up a cat. I didn't know that was a thing, and thank God my cats are like very opinionated little buggers, because otherwise the whole time it'd be, kitty, tip. Yeah, I can't overuse that. They won't let me. All right, guys, thanks for watching.